So today we're talking about seasonal blends and specifically post-roast blends versus pre-roast blends and how we do them at Sunergos, but we're also talking a little bit about roasting and about blending in general. Post-roast blend, as its name implies, is when a group of coffees is roasted first and the highlights are brought out of each of those coffees and they're roasted in a way that kind of brings out the best parts of each coffee, which is our goal in roasting single origin coffees in general. So it's when those coffees are roasted first and then blended together to make a blend. And a pre-roast blend is when a group of coffees is blended green and then put in the roaster and roasted all together as one batch. So that's a tough question to answer, but if I had to answer, I would say that I prefer post-roast blends, specifically the way we do them at Sunergos, because I love when a coffee is bright and acidic and fruity and kind of intense, and not everyone loves coffee like that. And most of our post-roast blends tend to be that way, especially in the spring and summer. Whereas pre-roast blends, which right now we have Sunergos blend and blend B that we're doing as pre-roast, and those are both a little bit more in that chocolatey, kind of heavier flavor spectrum. So our seasonal blends are post-roast blends because with the coffees that are in them, they tend to be a little bit lighter and brighter than some of the other coffees we're roasting. And coffees like that can tend to get green or a little bit too acidic if they're not roasted really, really carefully. And so we try to make sure each of those coffees is roasted just perfect for the specifics of that coffee so that the blends turn out really, really great. So our foundational blends have a lot of history. So blend B, Sunergos blend, those are things that we've roasted for 10 plus years. So with all that history, we don't want to just abruptly change those up and start doing post-roast blends. Also, we've tasted post-roast blends of each of those coffees and really haven't liked them as much as pre-roast blends. So that's one reason that we've stuck with the pre-roast blending process on those. Also, the Sunergos blend specifically is one of the biggest coffees that we do, and when we blend it and roast it green, there's a level of consistency that you get with the roast level of each individual coffee because it's all in the roaster at the same time, and it comes out at the same time, and it's cooled all together. So we've just found that the flavor profile we're looking for specifically out of those two blends, it just comes out really, really well when we do it as a pre-roast blend. Every single blend is going to have its own flavor profile that we're going for. So for spring, we're looking for something that's really citrusy, that tastes like spring. It's like refreshing, it's maybe good over ice, a little bit floral, lots of subtlety in the spring blend, and a lot of times historically there's been an Ethiopian coffee in there, which is awesome. And then in the summer blend, it's going to be a little bit more fruit forward, so usually we'll have a natural processed coffee in there. For fall, we're looking for something that's just kind of easy drinking, kind of a classy, easy pleaser for everyone. And that's something that we want to be a little bit more chocolatey, maybe a little bit of spice. And then for winter, we want something that's kind of heavy, so something that has a heavy body is really good. So a lot of times we'll look for Indonesian coffees for that blend, but not always. And then we're also going to look for something that maybe goes well with some cream, some sugar, you know, something that is you can just sit by a fire and sip on. We've been doing seasonal blends, I want to say, for about 2.5 years. And if there's one that really, really sticks out to me, it's the first spring blend we ever did, which was called Blossom. And I could be wrong, but I believe it was a Ethiopia Hembella, which is a coffee we've gotten several times. It's a wash process Ethiopia, beautiful coffee, super floral, super layered and complex. And then there was a Kenya in there as well. I think might have been Mutunzuni. It was a really, really vibrant Kenya. So it's just this combo of like floral, layered, lots of spices and black tea with this really bright Kenya that's really fruity and lots of grapefruit. And man, I could drink that every single day. Yeah, so we just launched the fall blend. which is super delicious. It's a combination of our Ethiopia Koke and Guatemala Ixlama, and both of those coffees are really awesome on their own. The Koke brings a lot of fruit to the blend, and then the Guatemala brings like a balance and a chocolatiness, but they're both super sweet coffees. So this is a unique fall blend in that it's got a lot of fruit, but it's also got a lot of sweetness and chocolate. So I think you guys are all gonna love it.